Paleface Swiss dropped a new album, Curse. We were covering the rollout all of last year. Album dropped the first Friday of this year on January 3rd. This album is fucking awesome.
It is, yeah.
My main problem is the amount of singles and then how short the album wound up being tracklist wise.
Exactly, yeah, because it felt like you got majority of the fucking record. It was spoiled. It was spoiled for you. There's a very fine line between putting out enough singles where you're able to listen to the record and not be completely lost, and then putting out too many singles and spoiling an entire record for your listeners. But I mean, are we just like picky, or do other people like complain about like, I didn't get to be surprised with things?
Yeah, people complain about it, and I see some discussion online where it's like, I'll only listen to X amount of singles, and then like after that, like it comes up a lot, you know, when Memphis Mayfire puts out a new single, because they put out the entire album as singles.
Shout out Maddie Mullins.
You know, that I see that conversation come up every time there's a new single, and we'll be talking about the newest one here in a little bit. But yeah, our problem is it's kind of what we do. So it comes with the territory.
We can't just say, no, guys, we capped at 3 singles. We're done.
Yeah, because you know, if it were me, and you know, we didn't have this podcast, and number one, I might not have never checked this album out to begin with. But if I did, it would have been like whatever single was getting the most hype. Mm-hmm. And then kind of like, you know, sporadically, but not checking out every single. I only really do that for, you know, in my own personal listening, the albums I'm really excited for. Like I made
artists you already know.
Yeah, we're not talking about the new Architect single until next week, but I literally interrupted my second playthrough of the playlist to go listen to that single because I'm so excited about that record. I you know, there's bands I would do that for, bands that I would just wait for the album. So yeah, I see people complain, but we complain, but there's absolutely nothing we could do about it unless we just 86 this portion of the programming entirely,
which is like the main thing. So
it's kind of why it started.
Stuck here.
Yeah,
we're kind of stuck here. Yeah.
But yes, that gripe aside, the album front to back is incredibly strong. There's not a moment in this record where, you know, it slows down and they just keep kicking you in the teeth. I really like there's like an intro track to kick the record off. The first real song is Hatred, and I love the way that song kicks you in the teeth. The vocal delivery especially is so fucking awesome. It's the kind of, you know, it's the kind of music heavy music that I initially fell in love with, this kind of sound, and this record really encapsulates it, and I'm just super digging that track in particular. My Blood on Your Hands, I know when it was a single, I was like, I don't know about this one, and Gloria was like, are you deaf?
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm like, yeah, maybe I am. You know, I waited 10 minutes to pull out the world famous line in the context of the album.
Yay! First one of the year.
Yeah, first of many.
I didn't do it.
The song smashes. Another one of my favorites. Youth Decay as well. So many great tracks on this album. You know, my only gripe is just how short it is. But with that being said, it also doesn't overstay its welcome. It's got that replayability, makes me want to come back. So a very strong record for sure. It actually, because them and Stick to Your Guns are touring together in the US. Paleface is coming over to headline Stick to Your Guns' direct support, and I've checked the tour a dozen times, but because spoiler alert, I also really enjoyed the Stick to Your Guns album. I was like, did they like magically add a date near me? Because I'm digging both of these albums so much. They didn't, but it's okay.
No, Cursed is incredible. I mean, 30 minutes, 9 tracks. I think it flows incredibly well. As you said, it's a bittersweet album because it doesn't overstay its welcome, but it's also, I could have taken like 2 or 3 more tracks, especially at the pace that they were going on the record. It just felt like it could have kept going for another like 15 minutes. I would have been completely okay with that. My favorite run is My Blood on Your Hands, Love Burns, which is my favorite track off of the record. That shit, I had that on repeat the first time I listened to the record all the way through. Listened to that like 3 or 4 times because it is just that song. and River of Sorrows. I think how that closes the record is incredible. Honestly, I think the fucking record's incredible. I was anticipating the fuck out of this one because I really enjoyed all of the singles that they dropped. Majority of the singles that they dropped. But fuck, dude, they did not let me down.
Yeah.
Love Burns though, shout out. Heavy shout out on that one. So
Shout out.
fucking good. So heavy and catchy as shit. How ooh, that little riff. I love it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah.